Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Simply Nerdy. I'm your host, Steven. I'm joined today by some of the usual panel. We got David.
Hello.
And Lisa.
Hello.
And we have another special guest, David.
Hello.
David is another one of our cousins, and he has another channel called Shelf Help Gaming. So, David, why don't you introduce your channel here and give it a little plug before we get started?
Yeah, so the Shelf Help Gaming is predominantly a board game channel, but who knows, one day we might venture into the video game stratosphere a little bit.
Sure.
But yeah, we do board game reviews and trying to get some playthroughs on the channel.
Here's a question. What is your current favorite board game?
Lost Ruins of Arnak. It's really fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Dang. I've not heard of that one.
Yeah, it's relatively new. I think it's like 2 years old now. But it's a fun, like, Indiana Jones-esque worker placement exploration game. You're going out to gathering resources at these dig sites and fighting these guardian creatures, and it's fun. It's really fun.
Okay.
Your credibility is self-evident, like as you described.
Yeah.
Talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know all the buzzwords.
No. His channel is awesome. I've watched a lot of his videos, and a lot of good content, a lot of good, like, if you want to know what the top games of 2022 are, or were, he's got a video for it, and they're awesome.
Real quick, we need to shame somebody. Anthony is not here, hopefully, because he's so immersed in playing the new Xenoblade Chronicles 3 DLC that he has not seen our texts.
Nope.
So
nor has he responded. Anthony.
So
way to go, Sneak, bro. Tears of the Kingdom. Here we are. We're 3 minutes in. We're starting. But the latest trailer came out. It was a bombshell. Ton of stuff in this trailer, jam-packed in just 4 minutes. What did you all think?
My very first reaction was like, okay, this is the trailer that makes it clear this game is not just DLC. You know, there was a lot of concern about that. People, they showed the gameplay, and people were like, oh, I recognize this place in Hyrule. This is just DLC for Breath of the Wild, but they released this trailer, and suddenly all those people saying that were quiet.
I loved it. It was so great.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, there was still there was still some naysayers, but there was a lot less of them. You know.
Perfect. Yay, verily, yays instead of the nays. Lisa, what did you think?
Okay, so I kind of what happened to me is that I saw that in part of the gameplay they fused a sword and the shield, and now it's the sword or something. Anyway, and I both loved and hated that because it's so dumb, but I'm so glad that you can do that.
I think we need to have videos of just showing some of Lisa's creations that she's going to come up with. I have a feeling you're going to fuse as many items as possible.
I want to try and find the stupidest weapon I can create and then use that predominantly.
That's awesome.
But anyway, the thing that... No, I was going to say the thing that kind of weirded me out was that, like, they did a perfect parry with it, and it kind of didn't look like they did anything to make that happen. So I'm like, what? Can you just forever? Like, you're there, yeah.
Yep, right there.
Maybe they did do something with it.
But it looks like they swung it.
Maybe.
Hopefully.
Which, I mean, you should have to do something. But
yes.
Anyway. Beyond that... Oh, were you going to say something?
Oh, I just wanted to know if you can fuse something to the Master Sword, or if the Master Sword is unfusable. Because that makes some pretty interesting things.
No, I want to be able to put a mushroom on the Master Sword.
Yes.
Anyway, my other thoughts were, I was kind of disappointed to just see normal looking Ganondorf, although he is swole, and that's a pleasant surprise at least.
Definitely.
I was like, well, at least if he's gonna be freaking normal Ganondorf, he's gonna have a 6-pack, so that's nice.
I thought you said he had an 8-pack.
Well, I was. I mean,
Might as well. He may. You never know.
I don't know.
You never know what those other 2 apps are. All right, David. David 2. What did you think?
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to unmute myself. Yeah, I absolutely love the trailer. I love Breath of the Wild. It's not my favorite Zelda game, but I loved all the innovations that they've done on it, and I was super excited for this. I have a couple things that kind of eased my mind a little bit seeing this the latest trailer. I mean, I'm a Zelda purist. My favorite Zelda game is A Link to the Past. I just absolutely adore it. It's so freaking amazing, and that's like the pinnacle of. Everybody loves Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time copied everything from A Link to the Past. I'm sorry.
So here's the question.
It's true.
I love both of them, but I love Ocarina of Time, and I just finished playing Skyward Sword for the first time on the Switch, and that was amazing too. I love that experience. I love the extra lore that it introduced as well. So I love the 3D Zelda games too, but I don't know, something about that game, A Link to the Past, like you go through all things. I think one thing that's always made a great Zelda game in my mind is you do all the things, you go through all the dungeons, you collect all the stuff, and you're like, okay, I'm done. I've like achieved everything, and all of a sudden there's another phase of the game. You're like, whoa, I gotta do all of this and collect even more stuff, you know? And that's how it happened in so many classic Zelda games. It just kept going and going and going, and I was like, this is amazing. And that was one thing I was a little bit disappointed with. As amazing as Breath of the Wild was, if you wanted to, you could just go straight to Ganon and fight him. Like, you don't have to do any of the divine beasts. I'm like, no, that should be required.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that there's some, more classic, more linear Zelda dungeons in here, and if you want to go straight to Ganon and fight that's fine, I guess. But I just want some more classic themed Zelda dungeons in this game. If they give me underwater exploration too, that would be fantastic. At first I was annoyed that it didn't seem like we were going to be getting classic items like the hook shot. I freaking love the hook shot, and the claw shot from some Skyward Sword, But what I've seen from these fused abilities, I don't even care about the hook shot anymore. It looks so cool.
Oh, using the Master Hand.
I know, right?
Or the Ultra Hand. Sorry, Ultra Hand.
The Ultra Hand. And my favorite.
I keep calling you Master Hand. I am my gosh, man.
We need the crazy hand too, Steven.
Well, I need the crazy hand and the Master Hand.
Okay, sorry.
I am predominantly a PC gamer just because I never owned a console growing up as a kid. All of my plays with Zelda or any other thing was going over to all of your houses, or other friends' houses. I didn't have a console growing up until I was well into my teens, and we finally got a PS2. But so most of my stuff is PC gaming, and my favorite genre of all PC gaming is survival horror. And I love like 7 Days to Die is one of my favorite ones. And like when I first found out through these trailers that you were going to be able to craft stuff and like build things and fuse these weapons, I'm like, this is amazing. Like all you need now is to implement like a hunger bar in and it just like slowly depletes over time, and it's like that's the perfect Zelda game. It's
Then Minecraft comparisons would be even more.
Let the Minecraft comparisons begin.
Legend of Zelda, Minecraft.
So yeah, I'm super excited. It may, as long as they give me classic dungeons, I'll be a happy camper. But
yeah,
I'm excited.
I will say that I liked the shrines a lot. However, and I feel like at first I was like, oh well, I don't, a lot of people complained about not having traditional dungeons, and I was like, I feel like the shrines are fine.
Yeah.
But looking back, like thinking of some of the dungeons, like for example from Skyward Sword, that were
Skyward
so cool.
Sword's dungeons, man.
Yeah.
like
So good.
I have to admit, one of my favorites from that game was the Citadel, the Cistern, Sacred Cistern.
Yeah, that was fun.
I hated that one and I loved it.
Yeah.
They were so good. And it looks
hate
like
to
we're going
love
to
it.
get dungeons again in this game. There's a lot
Yeah,
of
there's-
underground. There's a lot of above ground.
There's a lot of clips that look very much
Dungeon-esque.
like,
Yeah.
like traditional
I mean, it's not
dungeons, so-
confirmed, but it definitely looks like a dungeon to me.
And Lisa, I agree. I liked the shrines in the first one too, but for one, they're not required, and because there were so many of them, a lot of them just felt very, very samey. You know,
Yeah,
very-
I will
yeah,
say,
so pretty
like
short.
looking back, they're not super memorable. Like there's
Yeah,
maybe a
exactly.
few that I remember, but beyond that, it's not like I can be
you
like,
remember
oh,
the
wow.
annoying ones that you have to use the gyroscopes or like the memorable ones are the ones you hated, but there's not one that you're like, oh, I really loved solving that puzzle,
Or the ones
So-
you solved in an untraditional way, because my wife was playing, and
Yeah.
there's a shrine I will never forget because she used a sword to connect this electric circuit, and it blew my mind.
Oh.
Because I was like, you have to use the cubes, these metal cubes. What if I just drop my sword? And just dropped the sword and it worked. And I was like,
Yep.
dang, this game
Yeah,
was
that's
awesome.
that's really fun, and that brings up another point that I think you mentioned in your previous streams about how it seems like this game is kind of an answer to everyone's creativity in the first game, and just like coming up with all these crazy bugs to break the game and make these insane flying machines using magnesis, stacking the minecarts on top of each other. And in any other development, they would say, "Oh, this is an issue, and we'll patch it out." But Nintendo was like, "No, I see your creativity, and let me just give you more tools to like." Bring the creativity to the max. Like, let's see what these people can create with these crazy
It's
tools we've given them.
so
It's like, I
fun.
can't wait. It's so
Yeah,
good.
I'm really excited.
Yeah. That's
You want to
another
see some of
thing-
Lisa's own videos? We should wait to see what Lisa does too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I need to actually make videos for that to be a thing. But
Let's go.
what were you saying, David? David.
Well, I was just gonna say one more thing is I never pre-order games ever. Like I made it's a personal pride of mine, I
Hello.
guess, that I never pre-order games. And generally on the PC, I do not buy games unless they are 50% off or under $10. That's my personal thing. Like, I won't do it,
Wow.
right? I think I've
Wow.
made 2 exceptions. One of them was for the Shadows of Mordor series, and the other one was for the Jedi Fallen Order. I think I'm going to make an exception for this game and pre-order it. I'm going to break my rule
Ooh,
because
you heard it here first.
I'm so flippin' excited.
It's so good. No, yeah, the trailer boosted my hype like crazy. I wish I could have recorded my reaction because I was pretty ecstatic
You're
as
losing
I was
your
watching.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'll have to do
I-
that next time.
I'm
have to
sold. Sorry, Dave, go.
But I have to note, like, the hype cycle for this game has been a roller coaster, right?
Yeah, for sure.
No,
I
they
mean,
have.
it was announced not long at all after Breath of the Wild, and I was immediately super hyped. I was like, oh great, we're gonna get a direct sequel. It'll have a shorter development time, and no, it didn't.
You thought.
Absolutely not. That's what I
I've
thought.
heard that it's actually the longest gap between any mainline Zelda release, between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Breath of the Wild held that record first, but now Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. So like, it was just hard for me to stay hyped that long. And they occasionally released like little updates that, like, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna play this game, but like the hype is decreasing.
Yep.
And but that gameplay trailer, like, they showed the new abilities, and like it just clicked immediately. Like, I've got it. Like, this is not. This is going to be very different. It's not just Breath of the Wild. Also, not.
Breath of the Wild also.
Two?
Also Breath of the Wild.
And so for me, like that gameplay trailer is what like kicked it back into gear for me. And then this trailer we're talking about now was just like, okay, so we have these cool abilities, and then look at all these things. It looks like there's going to be a lot more story, a lot more. It looks like traditional dungeons might be there, or something.
Hopefully.
feels more like it.
And my fingers crossed for multiple Terry Towns. I
Yeah, that'd be
love quests like Terrytown over and over
Terrytown
and
was
over.
so fun.
I will do every one of those.
Okay, I
Please be in
did
there.
love Terrytown, but that was just so out of left field for me that I was like, oh, okay.
It was a little weird, but man, I loved hearing that town's like music evolve as you brought in each character
Yeah.
from the different region of the world. Oh man! And then when the song was completed, you were like, "It's so good," and I want more of that. And in this trailer, you see these tents. Well, it looks like they are rebuilding Hyrule from Calamity Ganon,
That would
and
be
maybe
fun.
Ganondorf would, maybe put a wrench in the plans and came back and destroyed everything again. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. But
Yeah.
So
I'm excited to see.
Several things for me. Number one, I'm already sold, and I kind of don't want to see any more of the components, I guess, because like even in that video they like have this rocket thing that he like takes off using his arm, and I was like, oh man, I wish I hadn't seen that. Sort of. I know that.
Don't watch the previews then. Don't watch the previews, Lisa. We're not going to mention the previews in this recording because a couple of us are sensitive to spoilers. So I'm going to be recording me a lot, so be watching on the channel. We'll be doing a lot of live streams of this game because it's going to be incredible, and I want to capture as much as I can because I'm going to be freaking out.
Yeah, and then other things. So in that trailer, it kind of looks like I think several people, maybe even us, have mentioned this before, but I really do hope that you can fight with other NPCs, like not fight with them, but fight together with them.
Because we see Sidon. We see Sidon fighting with Link.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
I wonder if those are like certain sequences or if that's like. It's probably not all the time.
I'd guess
certain
it was a
times in the
sequence.
story when they'll fight with you.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
We treat you with
Give me a Hyrule Warriors experience without the evil Hyrule Warriors storyline. I still boycott that game.
My prediction with that is it's going to be something, like with the Divine Beasts, where we had, Sidon and Garud and whatever go with us to help us access the Divine Beast or something. So I'm assuming that it's not going to be something we can just do all the time. To say, recruit Sidon to come fight with us. It's probably going to be at a certain portion of the video game when we're doing a quest that he'll come and fight with us or something. But then there was that other scene where Link was riding through on his horse, twirling the weapon, and there were other Hyruleans that were just fighting a battle.
Ooh.
So I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting.
I'd say the fighting with Sidon stuff, though, it reminds me of the ending of Wind Waker, right? Where you're fighting Ganondorf.
That's another one I haven't played yet.
I'm trying to remember what that is.
Well, when is that going to come out on the Switch, by the way?
It needs
For
to.
real. Nintendo, this is a plug. Nintendo, where are the HD remasters?
Yeah, they already did the work for those.
What the heck?
On the Wii U. Just bring them over.
I could imagine it's just sitting in a warehouse ready to go. They just need to push the button, and release it.
That's what that's what I heard they did with Metroid Prime Remastered, basically, that it was done for a long time, and then they're just like,
Which just boggles my mind why they didn't do that in between releases on this. Like now they're not going to release it now.
But yeah,
they don't want to take
release
away
it now.
from
That would be a terrible
Tears
time
of the
to release
Kingdom. But in a year or two, I'd love to see HD remasters of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, because those are the two main ones I still haven't played. I played all the other ones, 3D and 2D. But
all right. So I want to go around and I want to see, one, what your hype level is at now, and two, if you've got it pre-ordered or not. That's fine. Okay, I'm a 10 out of 10, and it's pre-ordered
You
digitally.
are a 10 out of 10?
Because digital is better than physical.
What high opinion.
Just kidding.
Anyway.
yeah, my hype is probably like 9.5 out of 10. Yeah, I mean,
Respectable.
like I said, it got pretty low. I had to come back up.
The marketing of the game was really weird.
It's
But
recovering.
it was,
for sure.
my
hype
hype
is
is
recovering.
enough that I pre-ordered it already, so I'm good. And I'm trying. I don't want my hype to be too high, because that's always that's not good. That's not good for me. Like if I get overhyped, I'll be disappointed. So
That's fair. Did you pre-order it on Amazon?
Yeah,
Why?
Is it gonna come on time?
Oh,
I think so.
that's
Okay.
better.
I hope so. I hope so. Okay, at least
David, and
David's
his
had really
misadventures
bad
with
luck with his
Amazon.
pre-orders on Amazon, man.
Yeah. All right, and David, other David.
Yes. Again, I'm sitting at a 9 or 10 out of 10 as well. I'm super hyped for this. I think if they really do have classic dungeons in there, and there's more than just 3 or 4 of them, this has very high potential of being my all-time favorite Zelda game of all time. So I'm super excited. And if they have underwater traversal and have awesome story beats, if they bring back the Triforce in more measure than other than just showing up on the back of the hand at the end of the last one, things like that. It's like, oh man, this game has so much potential.
And he hasn't pre-ordered.
Almost. It's pre-orders.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and as for me, my hype is extremely high, and I'm trying to wrangle it back under control because otherwise I will lose my mind. So I like a 9.8 because 10 and I'll just explode. Meanwhile, though, I have not pre-ordered it yet, mostly because I keep being like, it's which place gives cool rewards for the pre-order. And then by the time I find out about which place gives the cool rewards for the pre-order, they've sold out. So then
The
I'm
rewards
like,
are gone, yeah.
Whatever.
That's
And
the
then I
tricky
keep
part,
waiting.
man.
So I might just end up buying it digital. We'll see. Steven is a plague who spreads his disease of buying it digital.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
I had a talk with Steven last night, and he convinced me.
That's right.
Yeah, with
right.
the online digital vouchers or whatever, it's like 30% off.
What?
And guess what? There's one other thing that I didn't tell. I don't know
Why
if
didn't you cross-light discounts to me, Steven?
Yeah, Steven.
If you buy the Nintendo
really
Switch
discount.
online voucher for $100, you can redeem Tears of the Kingdom and one other game.
So
You
it's
can redeem
$50
two
a
games with
game.
one voucher. So you get 2 games for $100 versus 1 game for $70, 1 game for $60.
It's like-
Okay.
It's
So it's
an
$20
audible credit
off.
almost. Lisa.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You're spaving. Okay.
Yes. You get more for your buck, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
okay.
not only that, when you buy digitally, you can start playing the game the night before.
That is
10 p.m.
like the least of my
So
concerns.
you heard it here first. You want to see the live stream at Simply Nerdy? Join us. Launch the day before launch at 10 p.m. So there you go.
10 p.m.
10
Mountain
p.m.
Time.
the day before, I will be playing.
Nice.
Anyway, you heard it here first. If you didn't know that already, you probably did. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for listening. And if you like this video, please give us a like and subscribe because it always helps. And Lisa, do you want to do the outro?
Well, first I'm going to say, let us know what you're most excited about in the game, be it fusing, making a mushroom shield, or whatever.
Building a massive robot.
Yeah, making a massive
Zoid.
robot, or being the master hand. No, being the ultra hand.
Being the master
Ultra
crazy hand. That's right.
Crazy
That's why I'm calling it the master hand.
Yeah, and until next time.
Keep it nerdy.
Hey!